You've probably eaten a banana today, or at least seen someone eating one. Whether for breakfast, before training, or as a quick snack, bananas are one of those fruits that seem to be everywhere, all the time. But have you ever stopped to think about what really happens to your body when you consume a banana every day? It seems too simple to be true, but this daily habit can trigger powerful transformations in your physical and mental health. Despite being one of the most consumed fruits on the planet, bananas still carry a modest reputation. It is not seen as a superfruit, like acai. It doesn't have the glamour of pomegranate, nor the functional status of chia. But this superficial view could not be further from reality. Behind its yellow skin, there is a true arsenal of nutrients that act directly on essential functions of the human body. And the best, all this in an affordable fruit, easy to find, and ready to eat. A medium banana has around 90 calories, but delivers much more than energy. It is rich in potassium, B vitamins, fiber, antioxidants, and natural compounds that have a direct impact on mood, digestion, blood pressure, and even sleep. And this isn't internet talk. We're talking about effects proven by research and recommended by health professionals. Throughout this video, you will discover why including a banana a day in your routine can be a smart, simple, and profoundly transformative choice. And in the end, perhaps you will see this fruit with different eyes, more nutritious, more conscious, and much more enthusiastic. Now that you understand the hidden potential behind this seemingly common fruit, it's time to delve into the real and proven effects that daily consumption of a banana can provide to your body. And the best way to do this is by listing, directly and clearly, the main benefits that science has already identified. The first of these is improved digestion. Bananas are rich in soluble fiber, especially pectin, which helps regulate intestinal transit and prevent both constipation and episodes of diarrhea. These fibers also contribute to a more balanced intestinal flora, which has a direct impact on the immune system. Next, we have the energy increase. Unlike other foods rich in sugar, bananas provide quick and lasting energy as they contain natural sucrose, fructose, and glucose. This makes it an ideal snack for before or after training, or even for that moment of low productivity during the day. Another benefit is blood pressure regulation. The potassium present in bananas helps balance sodium levels in the body, favoring the relaxation of blood vessels and reducing pressure. This protective effect is especially important for those who suffer from high blood pressure or a family history of heart problems. Banana also strengthens bones, albeit indirectly. The magnesium contained in the fruit helps in the absorption of calcium and the formation of bone mass, being essential for musculoskeletal health over the years. Additionally, it supports the immune system through antioxidants such as vitamin C, which fight free radicals and reduce the risk of chronic inflammation. In the emotional field, banana acts as a well-being food. Tryptophan, an amino acid present in its composition, is converted into serotonin, a substance responsible for the sensation of pleasure and emotional balance. A hidden superfood that can take your results even further. In addition to the foods in this video, there is a little-known superfood that can boost your results. The Moringa Magic Supplement combines the incredible benefits of this plant to reduce inflammation, increase your energy, and strengthen your body. Want to know more? The link is in the pinned comment and in the description. Now keep watching, because the next foods on this list could transform your health. At first glance, eating a banana a day may seem like an almost insignificant gesture, but when this habit is maintained consistently, the effects accumulate, and the results begin to appear sooner than many people imagine. Let's imagine how your body might react at 3 different moments in this journey. After 7, 15, and 30 days of continuous consumption. In the first 7 days, you are likely to notice subtle but positive changes. Digestion tends to improve, especially if you suffer from constipation or irregular bowel movements. The presence of fiber and prebiotic compounds begins to balance your intestinal flora. Furthermore, your day's energy tends to become more stable. By swapping ultra-processed foods for a banana, you reduce blood sugar spikes and drops. And that means less drowsiness in the middle of the afternoon and more energy when you wake up. With 15 days of daily consumption, the effects go beyond the digestive system. Tryptophan and B-complex vitamins begin to act more regularly in the production of serotonin, which can result in a slight but consistent improvement in mood. You may also notice a reduction in mild anxiety and a more balanced quality of sleep, especially if you consume the banana later in the day. Satiety also increases, which can help reduce the intake of sweets and high-calorie snacks between meals. Upon reaching 30 days, the results become more evident and lasting. Blood pressure tends to stabilize, especially in people who consume a lot of salt. Potassium actively acts in this process, balancing the effects of sodium in the body. Furthermore, your physical and mental performance can improve. The brain benefits from constant glucose and micronutrient levels, which favors focus, concentration, and even memory. With just one fruit a day, your body begins to respond. And more than that, he starts to thank you. Now that you know the progressive effects of this habit, it's time to dispel some myths that may be preventing you from adopting this simple gesture in your daily life. Despite all the benefits already mentioned, many people still hesitate to include bananas daily in their diet because of some myths that have been perpetuated for decades. And that's understandable. After all, when it comes to food, it's common for us to be bombarded by conflicting information. Therefore, it is essential to separate what is true from what is just myth when we talk about this fruit. One of the most common myths is that bananas make you fat. It's true that it contains carbohydrates and natural sugars, but we're talking about a fruit with around 90 calories and low in fat. What makes someone gain weight is not a banana a day, but the total caloric excess combined with bad eating habits. In fact, because it is rich in fiber and promotes satiety, bananas can even help those who want to control their appetite and avoid overeating. Another controversial point is whether bananas cause constipation. The truth is that this depends on the type and stage of ripeness of the fruit. Green bananas contain more resistant starch, which can actually make intestinal transit difficult for some people. Ripe bananas, especially dwarf ones, are rich in soluble fibers that promote digestion and help the intestines function regularly. Knowing how to choose the ideal type and time of consumption makes all the difference. There is also the belief that bananas are rich in sugar and should therefore be avoided. But we need to make a clear distinction here. The sugars in bananas are natural, and when consumed with the fiber from the fruit itself, they have a much smaller impact on blood sugar than the added sugars found in industrialized sweets. Furthermore, banana's glycemic index is considered medium, which means that it releases energy in a balanced way. Finally, there are those who say that eating a banana at night is bad for you. This is a mistake. In fact, consuming the fruit at the end of the day can even be beneficial because of the tryptophan, which helps in the production of serotonin and melatonin, hormones that promote relaxation and sleep. The truth is that with information and balance, bananas can be an ally and not a villain. And precisely for this reason, it is important to know in which cases consumption should be done with more attention, as we will see in the next chapter. Although banana is a largely safe and beneficial fruit for most people, there are some specific profiles that need attention when incorporating it into the diet daily. This does not mean that these groups should eliminate it completely, but rather that consumption needs to be moderate and, preferably, guided by a health professional. One of the main cases is people with chronic kidney failure. In these patients, the kidneys have difficulty filtering excess potassium from the blood. As bananas are naturally rich in this mineral, frequent consumption can lead to hyperkalemia, a dangerous condition that directly affects heart rate and muscle function. In these cases, strict control of potassium in the diet is essential, and bananas are a food that can be restricted. Another group that needs attention are diabetics. Although banana sugars are natural, it can still cause glucose spikes if consumed in large quantities or alone, without the company of a source of fiber or protein. The good news is that, when combined intelligently, for example with oatmeal or natural yogurt, bananas can be included in the routine of even those who need to control their blood sugar levels. People who follow low-carb diets, such as ketogenic, also tend to avoid fruits with higher starch content. In this context, bananas can quickly exceed the daily carbohydrate limit stipulated in these approaches. But it's worth remembering, These are specific eating strategies, and for the general population, the carbohydrate content of bananas does not pose any risk. It is important to emphasize that moderation is always the balance point. Even in the cases mentioned, the total exclusion of bananas is not a rule, but rather a matter of context, quantity, and individual need. Before drawing conclusions on your own, the ideal is to seek guidance from a nutritionist or doctor who can assess the complete picture. Understanding these nuances allows banana consumption to be not only safe, but also more efficient in terms of results. And with that, we are ready to conclude this journey by showing why such a simple choice can represent a huge life change. Over the past few minutes, we have seen how a seemingly simple fruit can carry surprising potential. The banana, so present in our daily lives, has proven to be much more than a practical snack or an ingredient for vitamins. It is an ally of digestion, a natural source of energy, a gentle tranquilizer for the nervous system, and a valuable booster for the heart and brain. It's easy to underestimate the impact of small everyday decisions, but the truth is that it is precisely these simple habits that, when repeated consistently, create a solid foundation for a healthier life. Eating a banana a day does not require major changes, is not expensive, does not depend on fads, and is within the reach of most people. And yet the effects of this choice can be profound and lasting. Of course, no single food works miracles. Bananas are not a magical cure for all ills, but within a balanced lifestyle, with adequate sleep, regular physical activity, and conscious eating, they play an important role. And because it is so practical, it becomes one of the easiest ways to include health into your routine, effortlessly. If you've made it this far, you've probably already realized that it's worth looking at this fruit more closely. And maybe the next step won't be a drastic change, but rather a small decision. Include a banana in your day, every day, and observe the effects on your body, your mood, your disposition. Remember, taking care of your health doesn't have to be complicated. It can start with a simple gesture, and that gesture could very well be peeling a banana. If this information made sense to you, share it with someone who also needs this stimulus, because shared health is multiplied health.